I was born into a non-Christian family, and then when I reached about 13 years old, I started coming here. I got immersed in the skate culture. Unfortunately, what came along with being immersed in the skate culture was immersion in other things as well. Started doing quite a lot of heavy drugs from an early age, obviously drinking. At least 200 young people would congregate here. And the police would quite often come, ambulances were always here. And into this kind of chaos came a youth bus working for the local New Frontiers Church, and it was run by a lady called Lynn Milnes, and they looked after us. They made sure that we didn't get into too much trouble. They kind of held our hair out of our faces as we were peeking up quite a lot. I didn't actually like Lynn very much when I first met her. I thought that she was a silly Bible basher. We used to do all kinds of horrible things to the bus as well, but she faithfully came back each week. And over the period of about 2 years, she actually built a really good relationship with a number of us. Through the ridicule, through the abuse, she would keep telling us that Jesus loved us and that he died for us on the cross for our sins, and he wanted to have a relationship with us. One night I had this dream, and in this dream it was very bright, filled with a light not dissimilar from sunlight, and it was so warm, this light, and it was almost like you could reach out and touch it and wade through it. And I felt incredibly safe in this place. And then in the distance, I kind of saw this figure. When they got to this point, I realized that the light was actually coming from their center. I just felt this reverence come over me, like this is a person that I need to be on my knees in front of. This person said to me, I've got better things for your life than what you're doing right now. I went to Lynn on the Friday. I relayed everything that happened to me in the dream. And she said, oh, it sounds like Jesus is trying to talk to you. And I was just like, what? Jesus? You mean the guy that you've been telling me about for 2 years, who I just have assumed was just a very nice fictional character, you're telling me that guy is trying to communicate to me in my dreams? She was like, well, yeah, that's what it sounds like. I was like, Lynn, what do I do? It sounds like he's calling you to follow him. So you can respond, if you want to say, yeah, I'll follow you and I'll lead you through a prayer. Or you can ignore it and see what happens. I was like, okay. And I don't know what, something inside of me switched on in that moment. And I just knew it was the right decision to say this prayer. I'd never said a prayer before. It was like a blindfold was lifted from my eyes, and I could see the world for what it really was. When I first came to church, we walk in, and these 3 old ladies, and they kind of gathered around me, and they said, we've been praying for years for you to walk through those doors, and now you're here. And I was like, you don't even know me. I'm a stranger, and not a very nice one. Not a very nice stranger. And you're taking time out of your day to pray for me. Why? Because they knew that Jesus really loved me. And if Jesus loved me, then they love me. And that's the beautiful thing about the church. And if you're a follower of Jesus, a true follower of Jesus, then you will love your neighbor and you'll pray for them, even if they're rotten to the core.